In the last lesson, I promised I was going to show you how to map out all the notes on the fretboard and how to find any note quickly. So let's get right to that. First of all, there are two things that determine pitch on any string. One is the vibrating length of the string. When the string is not being pressed down, it's considered to be an open string. It's vibrating from here back to here, from this nut back to the bridge. When I press the string down with my finger just behind any of these fret bars, the vibrating length of the string shortens because it only vibrates from that bar back to the bridge. Because you see, I can touch it anywhere back here, it's not vibrating. The shorter the vibrating length, the higher the pitch. Now, the other thing that determines pitch is the tightness, the tension on the string. And you do that when you tune it up. In music, there are only 7 letters that represent all of the notes in any song. So let's look at a piano keyboard. The letters A through G are what we call the natural notes. The white keys on the piano are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Some of the white keys have black keys in between them. Those are the sharp or flat notes. And those black keys comprise the other 5 notes of our 12-note scale. And the notes on the guitar that have an extra fret in between, those correspond to the white keys on the piano that have a black key in between. So those are the sharp and flat notes. We're going to get to the sharps and the flats in the next lesson. For now, we're going to quickly map out all of the natural notes across the entire fretboard to kind of give you this big picture view of the fretboard. All the natural note pairs have an extra note in between, so it's a 2-fret span there, except for B and C and E and F. So you have to know that. The other thing you have to know is the open strings. The 6th string, the biggest string, is E. The 5th string is A. The 4th string is D. Then we have G and B and E. Those 2 things, you can map out the entire fretboard really quickly. So let me show you. We're looking here at a fretboard diagram. So if we know that this is E right here, and we know that between E and F is only 1 fret, then this next fret up has to be F. So we have F right there. Then we know that between F and G is a whole step, or it has an extra fret in between. So that's got to be G. Then we have G to A, which is another whole step. Then we have A to B. Now here's the B and the C. That's the other pair that's a half step or only 1 fret's distance. So B to C, then C to D, D to E. Now notice that we're back to the E note here. This is E down here, and this is E up here. These 2 E's are said to be an octave apart. Now notice that the E, F, G, A, it starts all over again, just like it is down here. So if I scroll over, you see E, F, G, A, B, C, D, just like this. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Really all you have to know is just this right here, because when you get here, it's this all over again. So let's go back and talk a little more about the octave. Most scales in our Western music system have 7 notes, like major scales, minor scales. There are some that have 8 notes. A pentatonic scale only has 5 notes, but most of them have 7. So we're going to look at the A minor scale, which just happens to be all of the natural notes. I'm going to change this to A minor. Turn on the A string. The scale notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Those are the 7 notes that are in the A minor scale. If we play those on this string here, all the way up this string, then you see when we get to this A, that's the 8th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the 7 notes. And A is an octave, meaning it's the 8th note. So that's where the term octave comes from. Let me go ahead and turn on all these other strings, and you'll see pretty quickly that knowing the open string note allows you to go up the proper number of frets for any of the notes. So you have E to F here as a half step, and then the next ones are separated by one extra fret. Then we have the half step with B and C, and then we separate them again. Then we encounter the E and the F again, and it just continues like that. And every string, of course, is the same way. G, A, B, now you have the C. D, E, we have the F. G, A, B, and then the B, C. Every string works that way. Your assignment is to memorize the notes on the first 12 frets of the 6th and the 5th strings. There's a reason for that, and I'll get into it later, but now would be a good time for you to spend some time playing and calling out the notes. You can start here on the 6th string and say E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Let's just say you've spent some time learning the natural notes on the 6th string, the E string, and you know that's an A. You go, okay, I've remembered that, that's an A. Well, then you know that from here, if you hold your hand so that you can reach 4 frets at a time, you know how to play B and C right here. A, B, C. All the notes nearby should be pretty quickly accessible to you mentally and physically. If you know that's an A, then you know that's a G, 2 frets down. So let's just say you go, okay, that's a C. So you know that's a B, and that's a D. Because you know that between B and C is only 1 fret, and between C and D is an extra fret in there. So work on that. In the next video, we're going to be talking about how the 6-string guitar came to be and why does it have 6 strings? Why are they tuned the way they are? There are some really good reasons for that. We're going to cover that in the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.